facing a wall here. That was my literal most popular joke in the history of my channel. Just MMT. So you have found what to play next. I am your host, Angindra Bin Violet the Akatosh, first of my line, last of my clan. I bring you the wonders of the old world, sir. Like, what horrifying thing was that? Do you have anything that's scary in your nightmares? If so, we'd like to hear about it. I'm a curious sort. So what we do is we go exploring around the indie dev community. Why did I feel like that was the right thing to do? We go exploring around the indie dev community, and we find out what's hot and what's not. So stuff that's in development, patterns that are still there, bringing something to the table for big dogs that was really evident in Quantic Dream. I have a lot of picks.
Notes, papers, nothing of interest to us. Monthly quota sheets.
They really developed software and hardware rather than, depending on how you think of those things, rather than get pigeonholed into this process of branding themselves. So they as long as you're blazing a trail, the populace stays interested and relatively uninvolved in gaming. We're all introverts, so people just need to learn to deal with that. Alright, that's the stairs down. That's that way. I want to turn left. Some people can think of in terms of things like turning left. Not having that be west or east. Some people cannot. To the Chinese, south is north. We're open-minded, right? Mind equals blown. Got it. Oops. Other helm. Taking the helm. Let's see. I need my glass bottles. So King Richard, the 50th King Richard you've ever run into in your life, of Gladstone, was taken down by the witch sorceress Kosha. Not a political statement, I swear. But it does keep happening. Anyways. So, there was a TKO.
It does not fit.
Screw you, buddy. How about this? Oh, duh. Sometimes you gotta stand up for yourself. What is this?
Ha! It opens. Ha! It opens.
I say, this lever won't budge.
Steampunk it up, yo. Or is this more oil punk?
What could this
be? We
be?
love the Slavic region in all its glory for its oil punk tendencies. Why would you not run oil through veins and stuff? They were the weirdest. The 80s was lit, if you're curious. Wait, what does that say? It says machine. Oh, okay. Well, machine, for the record, is the same in Russian as it is in American, so I assume it's also the same in Ukrainian. We used... Is that a button? I want to push the button. Yeah, that's a button, not a niche. I want to push the button. Where is it? Whoa! What is this? Now, you are not... They try very hard not to present you with too many dead ends in RPG. One of the things that Quantic was dealing with. Whoa! What's up, little gnome? Hi!
At last. You must be the rescue party.
What happened to the miners?
They all ran away last year when monsters invaded the mine. I alone stayed behind to finish the monthly tool inventory. How did you get in? One of those hideous Larkons has been blocking the only passage.
We seek a friend who may be in these mines. Have you seen anyone come past here?
I've been hiding under the desk and eating nothing but these stale biscuits for months. There could be a herd of wild horses down on one of the lower levels and I wouldn't know about it. All I want to do is to get out of here. I'm nearly finished with my work here. You'll need that if you go messing around in the mines.
Uh-oh. No! I haven't finished looting him yet. Is this a normal home? They just want us to have a home, huh? Oh no, it's an extra special home. Of course it is. There are layers of home here. Alright.
I knew you would return.
So we can do this again.
All I want to do is to get out of here. There's a big hole in that bucket. I'll sign that out to you right away.
Fudge! I haven't touched everything yet. I guess I'll just go then. Apparently that's just the way it's gonna be. Alright, so this drops my defense, or my offense way down. So we're gonna have to stow it. We have enough blunt objects here. Alright, so we got our bonus points. Look at us go. Look at that.
They took whatever used to hang there.
obs going on here. So there's a lot of options for Adept to interact with his people in level design, in terms of barks, but also in terms of NPCs. And that was a really interesting thing that was going on in TTRPG as well. So they were developing the concept of non-player characters, really dedicated to the idea that introverts could have really good lives. That we were low-maintenance creatures, that it was a smart business prototype, that they should be allowed a say in things. So previously, in order to have a say in things, you had to, you know, want to curry favor or garner, you know, a better lifestyle. There were just so many words for it, and none of them really applied to people who just wanted to be left alone. We would work really, really hard, and then we just wanted you to leave us alone. Whole thing, whole concept there is leaving us alone. It sounds offensive to all the extroverts out there, not to the gaming culture. Our culture is built on the honesty that we're able to have, because we have so much rebound time. Okay, so we want to go to the left. That is now east. I went the wrong way. I can already tell you I went the wrong way. There we go. Charging down the stairs. So this is the Urbish Mines. Gladstone is a really cool place. It's got really humble beginnings that were, you know, mythological, etc., etc. So their king's a real dude. We really love him and respect him, etc., etc. So he gets stricken down by Scotia. Bitch. And then he, gets locked into a time capsule. So we're gonna just blow stuff up here. So he gets locked into a time capsule so that he doesn't die from poison. She poisoned him. Alright. One this side, and then there's a lever or a button. There we go. That's hard to miss, isn't it? Oh, fudge! So I assume this is compartmentalized because it is a mine, so loose knowledge of things helped back here. In books and so on, we started to struggle with the concepts of sharing. Fudge! I can always jump on the pit, like that is an option. But how do we feel about that, guys? Do we feel good about jumping on a pit? Or do we want to try the button game? All that does is take away the pit. That's what I'm seeing out of this. Anyways. I feel like one of these should be done and not the other. What are the odds? I'll just tell me if I see a button on the map, right? We'll just wait for that rebound time. Oh, stairs up. Hold on. Wow, I really have no sense of direction. Okay, so. You know, that's the wrong ceiling for— oh my god, you're horrifying. For, a mine, you need ceiling support, not decorative proportionality. I don't even know what the word is. I took these courses too. We wound up wildly esoteric, which was fun. So we would play all the same games as everybody else, but we would— holy cow! I told you he was horrifying. What is that? Like some sort of gnome? Somebody's pet? Looks like there's a button there. Okay, there's not. We are gonna die from these like little brownie things. We developed our own culture jokes and so on, and then we hit the gas on that when the internet came around, just like everyone else. Facts, man, they're hard to argue with. People started worrying about things like time going too fast. You know, would they have time for a project? That hysteria that got created got used. We kept putting them into our culture and just kind of keeping track of what they were worth rather than what they did. And it let us stay outside of time.
Orin, it is true, I tell you. The rocks are alive. I am leaving this accursed place. Jeff.
His name Jeff. Anyway. What was I doing? We were exploring, good friend. Exploring. Getting involved in all that life had to offer back in the 80s, 90s, 2000, before your children were put in charge. We had 6 recessions. 6 recessions. And a plague! I mean, good job. Seriously. I looked forward to growing old because on the off chance that everyone who was promoted above me was as stupid as they looked, I would not actually be responsible for this stuff according to my forefathers and my culture. And gosh, were we ever building that as fast as we could. That was the Cold War impetus that was the 80s. How did I wind up? Oh no, I'm on the right side of this. Okay. Yeah, so we're dungeon running now. I'm just gonna run. Somewhere in these levers is the answer. Kind of indicate that level design wise. So they've kind of codified. They're working with the field of media, but they're doing it through a grander scale, like movies do, rather than worrying about it per se. That's strange. So these wheels do nothing. This button gives me an exit, so we're gonna take that. Whatever, just rolling along, you know. Maybe we'll die a lot, maybe not. There's a button. Cool. Let's explore that. Ah, fudge! Alright. Cool, and we got a key. So the crawl is interesting. It delivers surprises infrequently. Oh, I'm gonna die. So we do always notice them. You wind up with exciting save names was a theme for a while. Silver, death. We wound up with exciting character names because you were building a legend to live inside. What did I do? You know, who am I? Alright, I don't want to be all the way back up here, so we're gonna undo that with the save. And then you could work your way through all your old man BS there. You know, whatever colloquialisms you brought with you, or if you were responsible for some part of a whole culture, a lot of us didn't like moving. Did not want that, not our thing. Introverts tend to be sedentary. It's kind of silly, but, you know, we don't like change, so not trying to go through that a whole lot. Probably not so much on the pointy object. I feel like if I'm gonna hit, it's gonna be with a sledge. Is anybody else feeling this, or is this just literally me? Maybe I'm just trying to be true to form. Always be fashionable. Make sure that you're carrying the appropriate medieval hardware for when you encounter your enemies. You don't want to, you know, own a sword and need a naginata because you're a female. You don't want that to happen. This is important safety tips, guys. So that's what we brought to the table as far as stupid old customs went that were, you know, we understood were really important to people. And that's what we bantered back and forth about circa the internet. So old forums and stuff went in and went out. So we really only get compensated for these things when it's relevant to some hysterical fool cousin in the government. You know, otherwise we don't even get, you know, there's no chance of us ever getting payment for our time spent researching these fun facts. I have no idea what people in government think. I really just am oblivious to the culture somehow. Anyways, ooh, cool, another keyhole. So I am going to go over the limit for time. That much is obvious. So smash subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell, it'll pop you up a thumbnail, so if you're following along with this series, you know, you can stay tuned, you can hop on it. We love you guys, we love that you're always along for the ride. So KOFI if you want to donate a coffee, Patreon, we talk more about behind the scenes. But most of all, like, subscribe, hit that bell, and, you know, tune in next time. We're going to have more exciting gaming. We love talking about it, but we also love just having you along, knowing that you're there. So stay safe, game on. See you in the next video.